pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first, I would like to read a proclamation for the National Night Out in 2023. Whereas the National Association of Town Watch is sponsoring a unique nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program on August 1st, 2023, called National Night Out. And whereas the 40th annual National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for Hiawatha to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police, community crime, and drug prevention efforts. And whereas Hiawatha Police Department plays a vital role in assisting the citizens of Hiawatha through crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts in Hiawatha, and is supporting National Night Out 2023 locally. And whereas it is essential that all citizens of Hiawatha be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact that participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in Hiawatha. And whereas police community partnerships, neighborhood safety, awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the National Night Out program. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Becky Schamberg, do hereby call upon all citizens of Hiawatha to join the Hiawatha Police Department and the National Association of Town Watch in supporting the 40th annual National Night Out on August 1st, 2023. Further, let it be resolved that I, Mayor Becky Schamberg, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 1st, 2023 as National Night Out in Hiawatha. So, translation, it's gonna be really cool out at the Fisher Center on August 1st. Last year we had hot dogs and drinks and chips, and there's lots of different booths and stuff you can go to. Brian, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add to it, because since Mickey's not here, but
it's always great, fun. Everybody should come.
what time does it start? You know,
6 to 8.
6 to 8 at the Fisher Center, and there's emergency services there. There's all kinds of stuff. So
And swimming.
and a pool party on top of that. Easy. Is it during 6 to 8?
6 to 8. Yep.
Free. Everybody gets into the pool.
It's
Okay.
always a lot of fun.
I didn't go last year. So anyway, just wanted to make sure to point that out. So August 1st, 6 to 8 in the Fisher Center. I hope people will make an effort to come out, because I know that our emergency services people, our police in the department, all that, put a lot of work into it to be a success. So. Any other comments about that from commissioners? Okay, then we'll move on to Sarah and Katie. Thank you so much for coming back after we did not let you. Okay, Katie.
No, not a problem at all. Totally understood. So each of you should now have a copy of the guidelines that we are proposing and would like to share with you and see if there's anything you want us to add. This will also be a sort of an agreement for people who do purchase the leaves that they have to sign to see their agreement with these different statutes. Like I said before, when we talked about this last time, we would like to, the public that we've had kind of crowdfunded the leaves in the beginning.
Okay, I need to. Sure. Do we have these?
I don't know.
Oh.
I was like, now you have them.
I can't push on the pages, so it's not.
I was looking.
So you don't have to read them word for word by any way, shape, or form, but you just want to
Sure, kind of give you the highlights.
the clip notes.
So some of the big things that you will want to know, obviously how far from the edge, which we did talk to the Hiawatha, we talked to Mickey about, of the police department. So it needs to be 25 feet from a corner, and no further forward than the existing planters. We didn't put feet on that because I don't know if you've ever noticed, the planters actually aren't the same up and down streets. They're different. We did not put in here how many per block, and the reason we did that, our thought is one between each planter is probably plenty, if you look, but like we have like the courthouse that doesn't have planters, so we thought we'd keep this, like if that came up, if somebody else wanted one, we would come back and talk to you guys or talk to Becky about, what we need to do to see if we can make that happen, or could it begin on public property. Of course, the insurance would fall on the purchaser. For those that are going on the public property, the rest of it on city property, I would assume that would fall under the chambers unless you want them to be donated to the city and then they fall under your insurance. Either would be fine with us. The only other thing with that is we do know that we will have to lay, like, in some places, a small slab of cement. And that's basically because they work like a box. And if you, in their private box. So if you have the box laying flat, it's gonna be fine. If it is on an incline, or if it's not steady, we're gonna break that fiberglass eventually from the weight of the sandbags. We don't want that to happen. Especially when we're talking $2,500 per leaf. Let's see here. We did say that we had planned this all along, as some areas does theirs as well. The designs have to be given to us beforehand and approved. We don't see anybody doing anything crazy, but we didn't want to literally line things out because things change. But like, obviously, we don't want to approve anything that is considered not very politically correct. Like, we don't want a giant marijuana being running around Hiawatha. I don't think anybody who's paying this kind of money is gonna want that on leave, but you don't know. But again, that'll be used by the committee on the chamber. And if there's anything that we are in question of, we are happy to bring those decisions to you as well.
And so they have to tow it in the parade now.
Yeah, we thought that was that in Two Stones. Some communities do parades just for these. We thought it would be fun. It's a fall, and we have the longest continuous Halloween parade in frolic of the nation. Having that added to our parade route would just be a cool kind of thing. Plus, it's a good plug for us. It goes out on Rainbow as well as all the attendees of the parade to see what we're doing and know that they're here and to come visit them.
So then if somebody buys a maple leaf, how long does it take from when they hand you the check and you get the money?
That's a great question. I'm going to be straight with you. The first one took forever. And that was because the way it works is the guy designs it and basically makes kind of like a mold. And then he has to regurgitate that. Once it's regurgitated, it's supposed to be here pretty fast. What would we say? 2 to 3 weeks. But our first leaf took almost 2 years to get here. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't really want to say that. We know the process gets faster, especially when you get more than one leaf order. As of right now, we're not doing it like in batches with due dates. We probably will eventually move to that model. So if you want to leave, you buy it by X date. So they ride by X date, that kind of thing. But right now, since we're just trying to get leaves out there, we're not putting a date on it.
Are there any questions or any concerns with any of this?
Sounds great. We're pretty excited. People are pretty excited. We have one interested party who literally calls us like, but we're working on it, we're trying. But it's neat, and you know, you see that other communities, and I just think this is going to be such a draw for our town. I was telling Commissioner Hall earlier, our goal is to eventually then also there's a little bit of a tax fund onto this to create the world's largest jack-o'-lantern in town. Don't ask me where it's going yet. It will eventually go. But things like that do bring people to town, and having that to celebrate a big part of our town's history. The idea is that people will be able to walk inside the jack-o'-lantern's mouth, read the history, see a map of the town, to come shop and do different things, and then even have like an opening Halloween ceremony kind of gig at it. But world's largest might be 90 when that happens, but it will.
How large does that have to be?
Pretty big, I'm not gonna lie. I would love it, and this is you're gonna think I'm nuts. But it's be at least 60 feet tall.
Oh.
That's the size that it's the head and not Rushmore. It can be done. That is true. But no, I don't know yet. Guinness, it's hard to get a hold of Guinness back and forth on different things, but we want it big enough when we eventually do it that no one is going to contest us. Unlike the largest bottle of twine, we can't keep adding twine to a jack-o'-lantern, so we have to figure something out. But I think having given the Hiawatha to also have a record, or we're also working to try to get them to definitively define us as the longest continuous housing bridge route in the nation as well. So we can have a little piece of paper that says, "Give says so."
Yeah, and that's why we should have the biggest and largest, Halloween.
Exactly, and well, the hope is, as you all know, the reason Mrs. Krebs went neurotic about helping kids kind of channel their energy, which was pretty progressive for a time, was because they were destroying flower beds. And so we would like to get this, to have Mrs. Krebs garden around it, with leaves that really celebrate different historical aspects of Hiawatha that we will hope continue to grow as people do go on into great things from the town. And then lastly, a large amphitheater. But again, I might be 90 when all this happens, but there is a vision, and currently you'd be a crazy person that wants to see it happen.
That's a great vision.
Thank
Thank you.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. I mean, somebody's got a good point on these things, so I'm glad people are, so. Do we need to do anything else, or we just say, go forth and prosper?
Yeah, I don't think we need any more action.
Okay. Have you started painting?
I've not started painting because we're also getting ready to paint a mural.
Yes.
If you notice by our building, the wall has gotten white. We just got the paint. We'll start Wednesday. It'll be leaves flowing, with, if you've seen them post on social media with the Fall in Love with Hiawatha, that would be in the middle with the leaves inside. It's Fall in Love with Hiawatha. It's kind of against the corrugated metal along the side of the chamber office. So I wanted to get that done first because we're on a time crunch with grant money. And then I go berserk on our leaf.
Okay. Sounds fabulous. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming back. I wanna see the scarecrow that's gonna go buy that check line. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Is there anything on there that we?
No,
discuss?
the only thing that, we just have the minutes and then, a resolution that authorizes the, bonds to be issued for the phase 1A sewer project. There'll be more, actions we have to take before we actually issue bonds. First step.
I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? If not, Megan?
All in
Already
favor?
on. Aye.
All opposed.
Motion passed 5-0. Nothing under old or new business, so we'll just jump right over to reports from staff.
You just have the April and May judges report and then payroll customer report.
Any questions on that? Okay, if not, then we'll move on to comments from the commissioners. I wanted to point out, first of all, when it just reminded me when Katie mentioned the mural that they're doing. Of course, I assume that most people have seen on Facebook and various things that there's also the start of a mural that Pam and Richard Tesserero have commissioned on the side of the Hiawatha World Building. It looks, I mean, I've only seen a teeny tiny part of it, but that'll be fun to check out. And I love seeing that excitement of when we're just livening up the town with the murals and things of that sort. The other thing I wanted to do, and I'm glad it's still July because July is National Parks and Recreation Month. And Stacy has done a fabulous job on the Hiawatha Parks and Rec page to complement everything, including the Parks and Rec professional staff. The lifeguards have been recognized, the umpires, all of our crew, everybody who has anything to do with Parks and Rec have been recognized for what all they do. And I don't think it's exaggerating to say that sometimes Parks and Rec is a great face for the city, and the things that Stacy and her group, you know, just have the lifeguard camp today, and tomorrow is the sharks and minnows. No, sharks and mermaids, not minnows. Sharks and mermaids. I keep wanting to say sharks and minnows, but all of those things, the date with dad and the mother son dance, and I mean I could go on and on, but it's easy to start taking that for granted, and we don't ever want to do that because we want to keep encouraging and come up with all these super cool ideas. So I'm glad I'm able to recognize the National Parks and Rec month by a week. slid it in, so. I think that's all I have, who's next? No, I lost my. That would be Brian. Okay, move on to Dave. Evans, you're making me talk a whole lot, you know, Tony? I have nothing. Okay, well then, in that case, I would entertain a motion to, or we don't have a motion, just adjourn to the budget workshop, right? I don't know, I messed up last
Yeah,
time.
I think we do because we don't actually do anything with the budget workshops. You adjourn to the budget.
So I make a motion
Make a motion, we adjourn.
to the budget workshop.
Second.
It's moved in second, any further discussion? Not, again,
All in favor?
aye,
All opposed?
motion passed 5-0.